The Global Power City Index is a ranking of the world's major cities. The aim is to measure their ability to attract talent and businesses. Researchers collect data on 70 unique indicators, drawing up scores for each city. There are 6 functions: economy, R&D, cultural interaction, livability, environment, and accessibility. Researchers get a clear picture of a city's power and global potential.
Cities have unique identities. Heavily influenced by their urban landscapes, their economies, and their people. Some cities are settled in moderate climates or have a healthy and an economically balanced population, which give them clear advantages when it comes to sustainability. Others have to deal with issues such as extreme climates, rapid population growth, or a lack of financial resources. The 2016 Arcadis Sustainable Cities Index explores the performance of 100 of the world's cities against 3 pillars of sustainability: people, planet, and profit. Social, environmental, and economic sustainability together offer an indicative picture of the present and future health of cities. The research finds that many cities around the world are not effectively balancing these 3 pillars. While leading some areas, cities are naturally vulnerable or have opportunities to improve in others. This split story is dragging down the performance of individual cities and sustainability across the world. No city appears in the top 10 of all 3 pillars, suggesting that every city has something to learn. Instead, leaders on the different pillars that make up true sustainability come from every corner of the world. Singapore and Hong Kong demonstrate extremes. They take first and second place in the profit sub-index, but sit near the bottom half of the ranking for social sustainability. Zurich leads the overall ranking and the planet sub-index and scores well on economic sustainability, but appears in 27th place on the people sub-index. London is a similar story. Amsterdam, 11th overall, shows dedication to its people. Sydney performs strongest on environmental sustainability measures, as does Sao Paulo. In contrast, the US cities tend to perform best on the profit sub-index, with 5 appearing in the top quarter of the ranking: New York, San Francisco, Washington, Boston, and Denver. Dubai sits in 4th place for economic sustainability, but is also let down on its social sustainability scores and sits near the bottom of the table on the planet sub-index. These extremes begin to reveal the personality and fabric of global cities. But cities have a responsibility to citizens to deliver on all 3 factors of sustainability, evolving their characters to be the best possible version. Having a clear vision and identity for the city is the starting point of this process.
Cities are powerful places. They're epicenters of innovation and experiences. They're destinations. With 7 years of established research, the 2015 MasterCard Global Destination Cities can now be revealed. London retains the crown with an estimated 18.82 million visitors. Not far behind, 18.24 million guests will visit Bangkok, home to the Grand Palace and authentic Pad Thai. Over 16 million travelers will visit Paris, whether they're sipping a café au lait with a loved one or strolling along the Champs-Élysées in the City of Lights. 14 million people are traveling to a desert oasis in Dubai, and there's always something to do in the city with the Burj, the world's largest tower. 12.36 million people will travel back to another era in Istanbul, a magical city where European and Asian cultures converge. With all these travelers, cities will need to invest in infrastructure to meet the expectations of visitors and locals. Cities will need to become smart, powered by electronic payments. Smarter cities make for better consumer experiences. And we understand how those moments matter more than any other global brand, 18 years and counting. Some of our top 10 cities are also Priceless Cities, our global travel and experiential platform that curates one-of-a-kind experiences, exclusive event access, and special offers. Learn more about these amazing cities and their potential to unlock and transform how people travel.
If you go to a Google map of Rio de Janeiro and put it into 3D mode, you can see what the city looks like as it was designed by urban planners. But you'll notice parts of the city that don't look like the rest. See the difference? The people who live in these parts of the city with the clean lines and the well-thought-out design are called people of the asphalt. The people who live in these parts of the city are called people of the hill. Even though the people of the asphalt and the people of the hill live closely intertwined throughout the city, they live vastly different lives. These informal communities that look like houses stacked on top of each other, sprouting out of the jungle, are called favelas, home to both vicious drug gangs as well as some of the most peaceful, creative, and resourceful people in Rio. I want to show you what they look like on the inside. Pacification worked for Santa Marta and a few other favelas for the first few years after 2008. But this favela is small, and the city dedicated its best police forces to the job. It's been a whole different experience in places like Alemão and other bigger favelas. Many of the favelas that I visited that had apparently been pacified were very clearly still under the influence of the Red Command. So while there have been some successes in pacification, the city still has a huge challenge ahead of it in taking control of these places. International attention paid to favelas is usually directed towards the conflict between the gangs and the police. There's movies and video games about this. This problem has been perhaps disproportionately amplified across the world. But while gang violence is certainly a problem, it represents one small slice of the favela experience. What seems to me as the more striking and interesting aspect of favelas are the thousands of men and women who are thriving in creative ways, in spite of being neglected by their government.